Welcome to this edition of NaturaLawn of America Franchise Spotlight. We're going to go to Madison, Wisconsin, and talk to a relatively new franchise, Brian Burton. Not that new. You're going into your fifth year now, right, Brian?
Yeah, that's correct, Blaine. This is we're getting ready to start up year 5 for us. If winter would ever decide to leave, we can get going, but we're excited for the year ahead.
And you had a unique background. I mean, you came from the hospitality industry, working in the hotel industry, taking the leap of faith not only to go into business for yourself, but into a brand new industry that, you had some exposure to, but relatively new, correct?
Yeah, so I spent 30 years in hotels, from operations to sales to above property management. And when the pandemic hit, the hospitality industry took a pretty big hit. So I'd always sort of had a second career in mind, doing something in landscaping. I've always enjoyed taking care of my lawn, making the house look great. So the idea of getting into the service industry on the home side of things seemed like a pretty natural progression. So
you had a little bit of passion for what you're doing now in terms of making the lawn look beautiful, taking care of your own lawn. Then you said, hey, let me help others. How'd you find out about NaturaLawn of America?
Well, as a younger man, I had an idea about a business that I wanted to start, and somebody gave me a book that said, don't ever start your own business, buy a franchise. So that's what I started looking for when I was starting to look for what the opportunities were. It was a simple Google search, looking for lawn care companies. NaturaLawn came up. The fact that it was family owned, I'd worked for several private family-owned companies, which I enjoyed. The organic-based part of it has always been important to me, and the message of being safer for families and pets. It just felt like me, and frankly, felt like Madison.
So you inquired. Obviously, you reached out to NaturaLawn. You and I started talking. I provided you some information. You did an application for ownership and got a franchise disclosure document. Do you feel that NaturaLawn gave you all the information you needed to do a deep dive of due diligence before you made your decision?
I do. They certainly were very forthcoming with, what the financial obligations on my side were, expectations of revenue and income, and kind of how that would all work out. Again, you mentioned it in the intro, I had been an employee for 30 years. I had never run my own company. I had pretty high level access and felt I understood how to run a business, but never did it. So I was partnered with some of the business advisors from NaturaLawn who helped refine our approach, give me some guidance on things that they weren't supportive of, and let me try out some things that I was really passionate about. So it was definitely a rewarding process coming up to the point where I purchased it.
So you're starting a new business. You're getting into a new industry. How do you feel the support in terms of not only through the onboarding process of starting and launching your franchise, but the continuing support has been from NaturaLawn?
Yeah, so from the operational side, the gentlemen that are there as proven experts, have been in the business for a while, have run branches, have done all those things. It's a great sounding board. There's a really good community of owners that chat with each other and, hey, what did you do with this, or what did you do with that? And then on the professional side, accounting and those sort of things, they've been really helpful when I've struggled trying to figure out what I've done to the P&L, and they can usually find it for me. But it's a good two-way street. Like I said, I've got some things that I think are really important, and they've let me try, and it's been a good back and forth for sure.
Any advice that you would give to yourself if you could turn back the clock 4 years ago, or What advice would you give to someone that is looking at the Natural Lawn of America franchise offering?
Yeah, it's I think, and from talking to some of the owners and just in my own experience, you're a one man show at the beginning, right? It's I'm doing it all, and I probably did it all too long before I started to bring in help. There's a saying that you don't want to work in the business, you want to work on the business. So ask for help early, bring in those, in this industry, bring in techs, bring in somebody to do the work so that you can grow the business and keep it going. So if I could give myself a talking to, I would do that. So
all right.
we've got that figured out now.
Yes, but you're still on your way to hitting the benchmark. The benchmark on both sides is let's get to $500,000 in deposits by year 5. And you're poised to accomplish that goal. Obviously, it is a little bit in the middle of late March, so we're hoping things will pop with spring, and you have an incredible 2026 and accomplish all your goals for your family.
Yeah, that's the plan. With any luck, we'll be out next week. We had planned to start this week, but Mother Nature decided to bring 18 inches of snow. So that changed. There's a saying I learned growing up that says, "Man plans, God laughs," and that's how we were at.
And with that, we want to thank Brian Burton, our franchisee in Madison, Wisconsin, for joining Natural Lawn of America Franchise Spotlight. And we will talk to you real soon, Brian. Take care.
Thanks, Blaine.